It's 6 o'clock, so I'm calling this meeting to order. Good evening and welcome, everyone. This meeting is now live on Zoom and being recorded. The recording will be available on the city's YouTube channel. Just a reminder to the in-person audience, whether you're presenting or just commenting on an agenda topic, please come to the podium and wait to be recognized by the mayor stating your name. There is a 7-minute time limit. If participating by phone, be sure to mute your phone. Non-agenda items can be presented under citizens not on the agenda, but will not be discussed by the council. Above all, please show courtesy and respect at all times. Thank you. Now, if you all will rise, if able, and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll move on to roll call.
Cindy Anderson here.
Here, Fairfax here.
Absent. Councilmember Wayne. Next, we'll move on to approval of the consent agenda. Quite a few items on the consent agenda this evening. Council, do you have any questions or any items that you would like to have removed for discussion?
I probably want to have a for discussion or maybe a quick clarification on it. That's regarding posting location for the agenda topic for the meeting. Am I reading this correctly under section 2 that we're making department heads and committee chairs responsible for posting those agenda items, topics at the designated location? Or are you channeling everything to, like, for example, you posting the agenda item?
Yeah, so the department heads already post their agendas online. They get it already. They post it within the 24-hour meeting time frame. And then my understanding of the process when I was speaking with Tina is that then if they needed to go to the library or they needed to go anywhere else, the post office, that's given to the clerk's office, then we take it and we post it within that time frame, and then it gets pasted on the front door.
I just want to make sure I was reading that correctly. It looked like they were responsible as opposed to submitting everything to you and then you disseminating it into the outline that posting that in the different spots online. And I thought they could just do that opposed to everyone.
We can make that more clear. It's this resolution doesn't need to be passed immediately. It's just in response to the changes. So if it needs clarity, we can definitely add some language in it and remove it off.
Susan Rosina, can you speak up? No, we can't hear you. You're running.
Yeah, so I was saying that the resolution on the agenda does not have to be on the agenda. It does not have to get passed. There's no immediate need for it to be passed, so it can be removed off and language can be added for clarity.
Does anybody care if that's to just be a little more exact than that?
We need a motion, Rosina, to remove it from consent agenda.
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to remove like the item K from the consent agenda.
Need a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. So item K is removed, pending further discussion and clarification. Okay. Unless I hear any other questions here. Need a motion to approve the consent agenda. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I'll need because there are resolutions on it, I'll need a roll call as well.
Okay. So let's do a roll call as well. Yep. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, so that moves us on to item number 5, department reports, which you also have in your packet. Brian stepping to the podium because he has a couple of additional items to add to his report for council.
You guys can start if you want to talk about something else first. Nope. Okay, actually, I have 3 things.
Brian, could you move them?
Sorry. So I have 3 things. One of them was a traffic report that got put in late today. Somehow didn't get put on soon enough. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it, but it was the report that we were talking about 2 or 3 months ago. We downloaded the information for June and July, and it's in there. There was not a 95, but there was a 75. And each of them are for downtown facing east. So the 95 could be misconstrued off of Lefebvre from a long distance away, but these were short distance ones downtown. So we still got some violators, different times of the day. It's unfortunate. But the car count was extremely high, which part of that time was during when Williams Boulevard was being repaired and overlaid over there. So that could be part of the reason I didn't look at it close enough to find the breakdown between June and July. And if there was a difference, I'm sure there's less traffic now than during the project, but 84,000 cars. So still a ton. So with that, once Williams Boulevard got done, we had our seal coat project taken care of for the town. That section from the railroad tracks to 151 and that curve was part of our repair project that we already had on the schedule. We did that, and right away we had some issues with it because it was hot and all the traffic turned into tar right away. So we added some more rock. It did it again. So we added some more rock, and now the traffic has beat it up so that there is 2 tire trail dips in part of it. So it's pushing it up and making dips that are 4 to 5 inches deep. The hump in the center between the tires, there's a place where low cars are dragging. So I reached out to Scott from Layton, asked him about if there's anything that we can do. He was receptive to, get me some pictures, get me some information. We'll see what I can do. I'll take it to QTS, and I would hope that they would do something for you. So I'm in the process of doing that. I started the ball. We had a meeting at 3:30 today. They're going to try to get me a price here within a week, I think. So then I can talk to them and see if they can get the ball rolling. And everybody's hope is that we can get something addressed, hopefully not at our cost, before fall. Try and get it done before, they run out of time this year, and multiple goals to try and be done with that before whatever may happen logistically with 151. We don't know any details as far as where they're going to start. It's sometime in the spring. They may start at the other end and come back this way. They may not get all the way this way next year. It might be 28 before they do it, but I want to have our part done. So then all they got to do is match to it, and should be done hopefully. So we're looking to do something to make it a lot stronger, last a long time, so we don't have to mess with it anymore. It'll take the traffic. Unfortunately, the trucks are what's beating it up, even though they shouldn't be on it, but they are. And I don't think there's anything we can do about it. So that's 2 of the 3. And then the third one is we were just approached late Friday afternoon, and more discussion was this morning with a meeting from QTS about their project. They are asking to get some water from us. They had their well drilled that was part of the concrete plant that has since gone offline. They were done with it, and now they're looking for some water, bulk water, that they're going to put in a tank and use off of it for construction purposes within the site. And they didn't want to go through the motions of whatever it takes to get the well back up and running again. And so they reached out to us to see if we can support that, the plan that they had. And we can. They're looking for, I think it's a 400,000 gallon tank that they're going to fill, and at our rate that we let them. And then they're just gonna draw off of that during the day for their uses, which was, they were averaging 40,000 gallons is what they thought, which is not really anything, so. We are wasting 30-some thousand gallons a day off of that line already, so in doing this, we would be able to shut our flush valve off and not waste any water. It would all go to them through a meter and they would pay for it. So they're gonna use a little more water than what we are currently, but we're getting paid for all the stuff that we're wasting. So we're looking to see, we can handle it. It sounded like the procedures of what they were gonna do is not gonna be out of line. It's definitely not millions of gallons of water. And it sounds like they said 2 months is what they were thinking. So it should be done by late fall. And as the days go here, will be less and less usage on the splash pad. So it is basically trading how much we're using right now. The splash pad will quit. They'll still keep using water. So I don't think it's going to be a huge increase. It's just give or take. So
really you're looking at a net of additional 10,000 gallons a day.
possibly, yes. And then they said there could be a few days that could be more than that, but it's not going to be millions by any means. So there's no way we could do that. I wouldn't even offer that as an option. The numbers they were putting towards this is very manageable. And so we're just going to have to work together. If they do need a little bit more, then we would just need to know a little notice so that we can have a little time to boost our storage tank so that we wouldn't be running low in case we need a fire or anything like that. However, the water that they're going to use is out of a 2-inch meter, so they're not going to be taking a whole bunch all at once. It'll be a more steady amount over a short time or a longer time possibly. So to me, it sounds okay, unless you guys have a problem with it. They're just kind of forging ahead and maybe we'll get extra money out of this for gallons of water. But that would make sure you guys know too, so.
This is for informational purposes and you'll come back, we'll make a decision on it. You need a decision today.
Well, I would need to say, if you guys are really against this, then I would need to know now, because they would have to make other arrangements, because they're hoping to be probably started here in a week or so, it sounds like. So they may start, we may get the meter water, RPZ and meter out there. They may take a truck here, a truck there until they get the tank thing figured out and set up. And then, but it sounds like 2 months. So whatever, September, October, 1st of November, be done maybe somewhere there. Somewhere it'll have to stop because we'll pull our meter out so it don't freeze. We're not gonna let that happen.
I know there's a variance on your daily possibly usage rate, but are they open to a cap? I'm not expecting them, like you said, to do some C numbers per day because it's not physically possible, but.
Right, that's it can be up to you.
Would you anticipate a cap?
And that's something we consider. So our quest is look not to take water from peak time. And that's basically through the night. If there's something that I think we can only pull it up, was it 23,000 gallons
An hour.
an hour? So it's not like we can take a whole lot all at once, it's just a 2-inch diameter hose is what it would be. And what it would be is the initial fill would be to take and fill this 400,000 gallon tank and then draw off that during peak usages, 40,000 at a time, things of that nature is what we would be able to put into our systems. That's it. Then at the evening hours, again, go ahead and replenish what was taken out during the day. So again, it's just to keep us so that we have a constant supply to help supplement some of the uses. That's really what it is. And again, back to the point, it's if there's a cap, there's a cap. We'll just go ahead and fill to what we possibly can. It's meant to be a supplement, but it's got to be a usable supplement. Is what I'm trying to do.
You might want to make sure that everybody understands too exactly the reason why we expel water onto the ground. I know it's been brought up several times. This is what we have to do to turn that water over to keep it fresh and to keep it potable. So we effectively right now are throwing water on the ground to keep that fresh for the customers that are paying, because that's Brian's license on the line. So this in essence is really getting rid of wasting it and actually charging somebody for it. So, and it all kind of washes out. The numbers are real close. So I just want everybody to understand that we're doing that to keep the water fresh in this town. So they would be helping us.
I think it'd be a great partnership, but it's up to the council here to decide which direction they want to go. I will emphasize there is a need for it. And the reason for we're doing this is our schedule delays based on right now what we can do to fill capacity. This helps supplement that in order for us to keep on schedule.
How soon would you want to do that initial draw?
We probably won't be ready this week, if maybe mid next week at the soonest.
So Brian, is that sufficient time?
Yes, we would probably only need, I think we reached out to them, let them know about 24 hours is all we really need to know. And I think the fill's gonna go over 2 days to fill that tank, so we'll be able to handle that. So just knowing it so that we can fill up the ground storage ahead of time and we can keep supplementing ours at the same time they're drawing it off. And we'll
Would you
be
do like 2 days at, was it 23,000 gallons an hour, like overnight off peak hours? And fill it up?
yeah, something like that, yes. Try to keep it at the maybe 200,000 gallons a day. So, that's what we were thinking.
It would take a period of time, it said for 200,000 gallons.
So yeah, 10 hours.
10 hours to do, so we would shut down during peak times. And again, that would just be getting us started. Once we get it full, then it's just basically a manual shut off, once we get to a certain level. Yeah, so that's it, but, sorry.
As long as I explained it right, Scott.
You did great.
Okay, thank you. Making sure I didn't miss anything.
It's being used for construction and drinking water then?
No, not drinking water. This is going to be used what they call a flush and fill. So basically, they're using it to clean out the pipes and the systems that we're going to use for our chilled water. And there's a process that has to take place. So they fill the system, they run the system, shut it down, drain that out, whatever fragments of whatever's in that, get that cleaned out so that it's a fluid system and that there's no debris within the pipes to cause disruption in the operation. And so that's what that water will be used for, and then discharge.
And it will be backflow protected as well.
Yes.
So for those of you that don't know what that is, any apparatus that hooks up to a potable water system, drinking water, we have a device on there. So backflow preventer, so water can't flow backwards. So if that water were to become tainted for some reason, that water in an emergency situation cannot flow backwards into our potable water system. So all the protections are in place already. They have an RPZ on site right now. So with that said, it's safe. So I want everybody to know that too. And Scott, I did review your schematics and everything looked good on that. The only thing I would say that it has to have is non-potable water signage around it, just so it's labeled correctly.
And I'll take that back, but if you can reciprocate that.
Yep, I'll do that in an email for you.
Yeah, that'd be great. And that way we keep everybody in line when we staff down.
And I'm sure it's going to be in multiple languages. That's
It will.
your issue.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Where's it being discharged to?
It will be discharged through the city of Cedar Rapids' wastewater. So it won't be just dumped on the ground.
So this came up a little bit too late to get it as a separate agenda topic, but Brian, your recommendation is to the council.
I would recommend that we continue to do that. I think we're fine doing it.
Or just an increase in quantity.
Yes, for this project that they're talking about here, yes.
Do you know if there's anything that would prevent you from having the authority to supply bulk water?
Excuse me now.
Well, I'm wondering if the council would even need to say yes. I believe most city ordinances, bulk waters are, as long as the rate's already established and it's within the public works director's ability to proceed with.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it as long as you guys are.
Just more information.
Yeah, more information than anything. If you got any superior red flags, we can deal with it, but we're gonna be fine. If something happens that we cannot, we will be in contact with them. That'll be the first delete, and, you know, that be just catastrophic failure, some equipment or something, but otherwise we should be fine. So it's not excessive in any way.
Does anyone object?
What they're doing is less than what we use when we're flushing hydrants, so.
Yep.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. There,
Oh, sorry. You're at the Williams, did you say the timing on that?
The timing, there is no timing yet, other than we're all looking to try to figure out the answer and have it completed yet this fall. I met with Ella Pelling this afternoon, and they agreed same thing, as should be able to try to get it done if we can get things figured out, get it done.
So, but if we do it this fall, we're running into the same problem we just had this spring.
For a short time. And the detour could be around Stutzman's, is what we were talking about today. Go up to Southview, come across and get back on. It wouldn't be a lot less time. Because all I gotta do is do some grinding and then start laying asphalt.
Okay.
I can find it, once we get more the beginning, I can find out the amount of days that they think it's gonna be. See what all's involved. This is like I said, we just met at 3:30.
No, I can check.
Yeah, so, but no, after I know something, I'll reach out, and if we have a special meeting and we need to address it or whatever, we'll do that, or at least get the information out to y'all. And if we got any other questions or concerns, we can address them to keep whatever moving to get it done. If it has to wait till spring, so be it, I guess, but just trying to be ahead of whatever happens with 151 and not have that be a part of the problem.
well, waiting till it's a little bit cooler would have its advantages, so it doesn't get damaged the same way.
Yes, if it's gonna get damaged, let's keep continuing to damage it while it's warm here so it can get fixed. But they were pretty receptive to a plan that they thought was going to work for continuing to keep what's there with a base. The base should be good. Get some thicker asphalt on there that'll last a lot longer, like the rest of it is. So they were confident that we could do something. So
Okay, yeah, it's. I know you keep us.
absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, he said within the week he should get some numbers out there, so you can talk to Scott and see what we can do going forward here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Council, did you have any other questions for, on department head reports or engineer? Okay. If not, we'll move on. Oops, Brian.
You're all right.
Okay. Moving on to item number 6, as we're going to hear a project update on the Swan Lake project from ITC's Jamie Toledo. Jamie?
Good evening, Mayor Beer, City Council members. My name is Jamie Toledo, and I'm here on behalf of ITC Midwest. I'm one of the area managers for Lynn County and the 6 surrounding counties. I want to thank you first for giving me some time on the schedule for a quick update on the Fairfax to Swan Lake transmission line. It's intended to start this fall. The Fairfax Swan Lake line will start at the Fairfax substation, the south edge of Fairfax, which is owned by ITC Midwest, and will run to the Swan Lake substation, which is owned by Sibco near North Liberty. In Lynn County, this is a 161 kV line. It'll be double circuited with the existing 345 kV line. And the reason why we're doing that is cost savings, and then to reduce the fatigue that's out there, infrastructure fatigue with our landowners. The segment in Lynn County is about 5.4 miles long, so it's relatively short compared to some of our other lines. First, background context, with grid planning can take up to 10 years. So the Fairfax Swan Lake 161 kV line was developed in the 2015 timeframe and approved by MISO. That's our federal oversight organization for the grid in December 2016. Those were plans that MISO had for upgrades to the grid for the area, based on energy demand and what they're looking at forecasting in the next 20 years. Public information meeting was held on September 14th in 2023. So you can see this is these are long term plans that get put into place. Building the line will allow for onboarding of additional generation, continued reliability, improve system reliability, and withstand extreme weather, which we've all gotten through in recent years here in our area, and serve current and future energy demands. This line is not being built as part of the infrastructure related to the data centers. Construction will start this fall, guessing about November timeframe, with an estimated completion date of December 2027. The line will run through the city of Fairfax limits for a very small part of the project, and it will be within the private easement area and will be not crossing any of the streets. I want to give a special thank you to the city staff and Shane with Hall Engineering. We had conversations last year where we moved the poles according to what the city felt was more appropriate location for those poles to be. In conclusion, I just wanted to give you a professional courtesy heads up of the concerns citizens have had over the new infrastructure builds in the past few years. Please know that we take our relationships very seriously with our communities and are here to answer questions. Thank you for all that you do for the community and to ensure a strong grid for our region. It's not lost on me personally, all the challenging decisions that you have to take as city council members as I go along the 7 counties that I work in, particularly in today's political environment. So thank you. And I'll ask any questions, so answer any questions that I can right now.
Jimmy, and the map that's displaying right now, could you kind of just highlight where it actually goes through our city limits? Okay.
Yeah, it's over by, it's Lever River. You go, this was the original, this is a proposed plan that you're seeing here. So we don't change that in order that landowners are familiar with what was originally proposed. There's just been a slight movement of the poles within the limits of Fairfax, which is what we were discussing last year. So it's over there by Trevero, actually, where the poles got moved. And that was an effort to make sure that there was enough sidewalk access. I think originally when maybe there might have been plans also for traffic coming in and out of what would have been the natural gas plant that was proposed.
Council, do you have questions? I have a couple for Jamie, but I'll let you go first. Jamie, there was a recent article about Iowa has set some new transmission standards for noise, guy wires, and field strength that's effective on new projects. Will Swan Lake be using those new standards, or how does that work?
I don't know that I can answer that question right now. You give me a good one. I think that this probably is grandfathered under the new prior laws, but I can check on that for you and get you an answer in writing on that.
I mean, I'm assuming you could choose to use the new standards, you may just not be mandated to.
Again, that's what I'm gonna have to confer with
Clinically,
our
you're
legal
right.
team on how that's gonna work, but I'm happy to give an answer for you.
Okay. My second.
I just don't want to answer incorrectly right now. That's a question for my legal team.
Sure. The second question, I received some complaints from our neighbors out in the county regarding ITC traffic near the Lynn Benton Road. Who should they be contacting instead of Fairfax about that?
If it's about road traffic and road maintenance, Lynn County would be the appropriate governing body. We do have rate limit road maintenance agreements with Lynn County for any of the lines that go through the area.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay,
Thank you. Always happy to come back here. I'll tell you. If you got questions. Thank you.
thank you, Jenny. All right, next we'll move on to item number 7. Discussion of possible motion regarding a potential community cat program.
Mayor,
Yeah.
not to interrupt you, but the officer
Oh.
here, if you want to do this report real quick.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Step up to the podium, please.
Good evening. I'm Deputy Williams. Here just to report the call for service was 75. That was their count. And we met the required hours for them. Is there any questions or concerns?
Anybody have any questions for the deputy?
Okay.
Ah,
Have a good
thank you. Get back at us. Okay. Sorry, Nadine.
Oh.
Back to item number 7, discussion of possible motion on the potential community tax program. We've got Nadine, will you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Nadine Kirk. I live on the corner of Park Street and Front Street. And I've lived there 30-some years. And never have we ever had so many cats. We love animals. We have 13 in our house. 2 of them just adopted because family member couldn't take care of them anymore. The other 11, of those, there are 9 of them who are outside. I call them free living, not feral, free living kittens. We started out in, we're gonna kind of go this summer backwards. So in 2026, we have 13 kittens, 5 mamas. One of them hasn't brought her kittens yet, so I have no idea what the total is for this year. Last year, we had 7 kittens fixed out of 14 kittens that were born last year. There were the 7 we took in. 3 went to the neighbors. 2, so a dozen of them found homes last year. And the year before that, there were 3 kittens that we brought in. I don't remember how many kittens there were to begin with, because this is kind of where they all started. There was Bubbles. Her name was Bubbles because she's calico kitty. No idea where she came from, but she was obviously pregnant already. And she had 5 kittens. And from those 5 kittens, we are now up to, I don't even know. So during that summer, 2 of those cats were poisoned. And I'm afraid that some of the talk I've heard lately is people don't like these cats around, they want to get rid of them. They're going to carry diseases, their dogs are going to get sick, their kids are going to get rabies, you know, just all this kind of stuff. I'm afraid somebody's going to do something. So I want to figure out how to get a program started in Fairfax that gets these cats fixed. I would also like to figure out how to get people who've done these cats string. I know we can't do that, but it really makes me angry that somebody would treat an animal that way. But I have checked into, I looked at the city of Cedar Rapids proposed things that they're doing, and it still comes back to the Iowa Humane Alliance. Their program is absolutely overwhelmed right now. It is unbelievable how bad it is. You can't, like right now, I talked to them practically a month ago, and I couldn't get on the list to make an appointment until the 24th of August. Then after the 24th of August, if you get an appointment, that appointment is a month out, where you can only have 2 cats. You can only take 2. And if they're females, they want to know that in advance. They know that you can't necessarily tell what they are. I'm a cat person. I can't tell you what's boy or girl. I have no idea. I'm really bad at it. That's why we have Frank turned into Frankie. Harry turned into Harriet. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things, but I don't know if we need to start some sort of a committee to come up with all the ideas, see if there's some way to get some sort of a fund set up where we could start putting money into it. Maybe pay a veterinarian to fix some of these animals. You know, like if we could have a spay and neuter day, which sounds really bad, but you know, something. I know my vet, she's willing to do them, like for us. I haven't talked to her about this because she's been really busy, but if we could find somebody that could do that, that would be really wonderful, but I don't know who. I don't know the vet here. We have Keystone with our vet, they're fabulous. I guess I'm looking for input on what everybody can say. We could come up with, I don't wanna be trapping or poisoning or shooting or anything in these animals. It's not their fair fault that they were born outside. It's not their fault that some idiot threw them out, you know. So. But giving me enough kind of. I'm still up in the air. I have no idea what to do to help them. But I know that I'm not the only one. There's three blocks up and 2 blocks over. They have, last time I heard, 24 that they were feeding. And I don't know what the kitten count is for this year, because the 24 was from last year.
So Nadine, you mentioned the Iowa Humane Alliance, which promotes the trap, neuter, return program. Do they give you any suggestions other than that program? They're very short on vets, that's the problem.
Very short, very short. She said that there's a community thing where they do have like as many community animals brought in at the same time. She said that they haven't done that because they don't have any vets. She came up with a whole bunch of ideas about catching them and, you know, like all that, but because even the ones I feed, I have no idea.
And you haven't talked to the vet over here?
No, I haven't. I was going to call them one day and then I realized it was Saturday. And I kind of, we've been really busy at our house, so I haven't really dedicated as much time as I should have for coming here, but I figured the sooner we get something started, the sooner we do something about it. Go with them to help them.
Have you talked to other humane societies and shelters about capture and adoption?
Well, that's the problem. Pretty much the state of Iowa is flooded with animals, cats and dogs. People are dumping their animals off right and left because they don't have time to feed them. You know, that's why they're saying that a lot of these animals are being let go. That people are just letting them outside. They're just not taking care of them anymore. It's my vet said it's absolutely horrible. And they're, you know, Keystone's a rural town. It's, you know, you shouldn't have that kind of trouble. She said Keystone is overrun with feral cats right now. She said they're everywhere. And it seems to be a population explosion everywhere. I have a cousin who lives in Illinois, same way with she said that it's just terrible in their neighborhood. And she's literally lives like a block from the vet's office, which thinks that's probably why it's so bad there. But yeah, I did talk to new town. I think it's Story City. I think that's the name of it. And she said she was going to send me some information. They do, like the Iowa Humane Alliance does, and they have a program where they actually help pay for it. So citizens bring in some cats, you don't have to pay for it. So if I were to take any of my kids to Iowa Humane Alliance, it would cost me $50 per cat. And last year when we did the 7 kittens that were supposed to get new homes, yeah, 6 of them live with me, so that's their new home, and 1 of them lives with someone else. But they cost us $480 out of our pocket. Can't do that anymore. We're retired, you know, just don't have funds anymore. So I was hoping to get some sort of like where we get fundraising, where we like get a committee together, figure out how to get them fixed, how to pay to get them fixed, all that kind of stuff.
So are you looking to the city for financial support, Nadine, or?
Yes, it would be great if it could be helped. if the city could help. Cause I think there's a lot of people who would help with the kitties if they could get them fixed. You know,
It's not just downtown Fairfax either.
oh no,
Outside or out north side of town, you see them all the time, running in and out of the sewers, especially when the flush hydrants.
oh yeah.
They come out everywhere then.
There was one lady from, I call it Water Tower Fairfax, because, you know, we're all spread out. She was telling me that she thinks that there's probably close to 50. She said it was like a 5 to 7 block area. She walks all the time and she was telling me, I'm like, we were having started out a Facebook conversation and then it turned into a private message, and she said that nobody wants them around. People spraying with garden hoses and, you know, they're out there spraying vinegar and stuff in their yards to keep them out of their yards, and it's not the animal's fault. You don't have to be mean to them. There's no reason for that.
So Nadine, would you be willing to head a committee?
I'd help with it. I can't say I can head it because I have terrible migraines. I didn't even think I was gonna make it here tonight, but Heart Record is wonderful. He's great. I don't know if you guys met him, but he's wonderful. He really helped today. So, but I'm willing to help a lot if I can. You know, get somebody, you know, if there's more than just me, so, you know, not just me working on it. I remember when you did so much for all the ones that were over by your house, which is one of the kitties that we brought to my house now. Amos is living with us now. He's 14 years old.
Why would the city have to spay or neuter them to get them adopted by someone? Would that be the responsibility of the person adopting?
Well, it should be. Yes, it should be. But if they're still out running the streets, they need to be fixed. You know, that's the other thing about, my granddaughter-in-law works for one of the places that adopts out cats, and the cats are fixed before they leave. And basically the person adopting them pays for that. You know, in their adoption fee, yeah. You know, and they get rabies shots and stemper. I thought there was a third one, but I don't remember what it's called.
Council, do you have any other questions or suggestions for Nadine and permission here?
Right.
If you wanna do a committee or something like that, why don't we just put something, no charge in the Fairfax Facts, saying that there's a, I don't know what you wanna call it, a community something that would like to get together to save the cats or something, I don't know what you wanna call it.
Oh, that's pretty
You
good.
know what I mean? And
Yeah, I
then-
like it.
And then I would, you know, then you could maybe get a group together, brainstorm, find, you know, if you can trap and release or whatever, but you almost need to partner with a vet. So you need to see if you can get assistance through one of the vets where maybe they would do it at cost, but you know, like once a
Right.
month or some kind of thing, but I would say you need to reach out to.
Well, I would
somebody like
talk
that.
to the vet here.
You know, as a community, like maybe the vet you would do it, you periodically
Yeah.
just as, because it's a community, you know, building thing, but. I think the first step is to get a group together that can kind of help. Do some of the things that you know, that they can help you move forward with all that.
I agree, and then. That committee would come with, if there's something for the council. You know, come back with a proposal, something for us to react to, that. You know, if there is. Obviously, we're not deciding that here today.
Right.
I don't think, but. If there's some sort of city participation in it, but it's hard to make a decision, we don't know what the.
Yeah, we don't know what it is. And you know, like I sat down and tried to figure out. This, we did. But there's so many things up in the air, I have no idea. The only thing I know is fall kid season's coming. I'm kind of dreading that. Last year we didn't have any that I know of. I never saw any new kittens last year, but.
Or maybe it's something that we could offer, like your first, you know, like a meeting or something here.
you know, if there's time available and, you know, for no fee, get something started to try to help.
That'd be good. Just get everybody
We
started.
have a resident comment here.
Could the city offer some assistance to, Nadine, on what that flyer would be and, the Fairfax facts, what that would look like, maybe help her put something together? Yeah, if we did that.
I'm used to do all that stuff and I'm not kidding you, since I started having migraines, I can't. I just, computers and I don't get along. Trying to figure any of that
That's-
stuff out.
That's why I just suggested maybe they could help you put that together and then at least get the ball rolling to Mary Ann's point.
Yeah.
Have a, like, you know, put something together, have a first meeting and then see what kind of response you
Yeah, just
get.
let people show up and give us ideas.
Can I get some clarity on this? So this isn't to promote getting cats, getting them spayed or neutered and then setting them free. This is to replace them or replace them. This is to capture them, spay, neuter.
I'd like to be able to get them homes, that would
What-
be
yeah.
wonderful.
I just wanna make sure because the nuisance level is already up already. I've got videotapes, I've got everything of cats. In people's yards that don't have cats and their kids step in the PCs, so. There are neighboring communities, Palo's one of them that has recently passed a cat nuisance ordinance.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what happens to the cats, I know they trap them, live trap, so it's a soft trap. But they're removed from town, they don't come back.
But what do they do with them?
They take them up to the farm up north so they can run around and be free.
Yeah, like my daughter's
Right.
farm where people just,
Right, yeah.
I just don't wanna see the problem grow,
right,
that's the
Right.
big thing.
I think
I
one of
agree.
my concerns is, the financial side, but you said there's 50 cats and what was it, like a 7 block radius or 7 house?
somewhere
radius
up there, yeah, I don't
And
know.
480 a pop, that's $20,000 to $25,000, I don't know if that's it.
Well,
It's $50 a
It's
cat.
$50.
I thought you
Yeah,
said
yeah.
great,
That's
No,
that's
for 80
for all
for
the
me,
cats
the
that
stuff
she
that we
fixed.
did.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
that's
we
my
did.
bad.
Yeah,
And the $50 is a discount at the Alliance and they.
no, that's their standard fee now, across.
But I mean, they only take so many cats. That is not the fee at a normal vet.
Right,
So that's why I said you would have to partner with one or two or something vets to try to get a discounted rate of some kind.
And also too,
Yeah.
a cat is no more majestic than a dog. So we're not gonna discriminate,
It's
right?
less majestic, actually.
So, I mean, the fact that these cats are running around, I mean, if a dog was running around, you see Facebook blow up. Whose
exactly.
dog is that? Oh my god, they're scared, they're terrified and all that stuff. Well, cats are equally as ornery.
Probably worse.
So it is an issue and I do know, I'm gonna revert back to Palo again because theirs was pretty well written. It does state that if you feed the cats, you are then responsible for the cats.
That's kind of what Cedar Rapids is trying to do. They
Yep.
wanna make you sign up as a, I don't know what you wanna call it, but it's your colony.
Yeah.
And you pay the city to have that colony and they
Yeah.
come and inspect and you pay them for that. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. We're helping the cats by getting them fixed.
But if you house them outside and you feed them, that's, you are taking care of that cat.
That is true.
So you gotta be careful.
So maybe
what-
now how many cats do I have?
Yeah. No, I just wanna point that out
Yeah.
because it's
Maybe I ought to call them and.
as passionate as you are, there's someone equally passionate against you.
Oh, I could name quite a few.
Because I deal with both of it all the
Oh, I'm
time, so
sure you do.
I just wanna.
And I get it, cause I used to get mad when I'd have animals in my yard that didn't belong there and
Yeah.
stuff, but. As I mellowed out as I got old, but I, it's. We never had this. People didn't just let their animals go, and they didn't. But just like they didn't just let their kids go, you know, it's kind of the same thing, almost.
Well, Nadine, if you can get a committee
That would
going,
be wonderful.
so all those things that we're done tonight would be good discussion, but you
Yes.
have to determine what route you wanna go.
Yeah, and I think I'll call Halo and.
Right.
Call the lady that I talked with, it's Story City, I can't remember the name of that town. But call her back and she was supposed to send me information and didn't get it. So,
And we can give you some support in getting an ad in the newsletter.
yes, that would be wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, is that the more people that know there's something happening, the more response we'll get and be able to fix it.
Okay. Very
All
good.
right, well, thank you, everybody.
Right.
Wish you luck.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda number 8. Travis is going to talk about the no data center traffic signs.
Okay,
Introduce yourself, Travis.
thank you, Joanne, for allowing me to be on the agenda. I just prepared a statement because it's easier for me to stay on task. So, Mayor and council members, Travis Otto here, 303 Church Street, famously known as the Star Bar. As many of you know, I served as a Fairfax City Council member for 10 years. So I want to start by saying that I understand the gravity of making decisions for what seems to be best for the community, and it's not an easy task. I also want to strongly state that I believe all drivers, whether data center, residents, or random people passing through town, need to respect the rules of the road, stop at stop signs, and obey posted speed limits. Violators should not receive warnings and be fully ticketed. With that being said, the city recently installed no data center traffic signs on both ends of town. It was my original understanding that these signs were put in place due to the road construction to help with the influx of traffic during that time. Understandable, temporary solution. The unintended consequence from these signs is that it's deterred customers away from my place of business. Because of their specific location, the Star Bar is the only food and beverage retail business that is inside of this boundary, thus creating a significant burden not only on my business, but the livelihoods of my 13 employees, most of them local residents. Running a business in a small town is no easy task. Very few have made it in Fairfax over the years, whether it's the Star Bar, Mikey's, Casey's, Grind Coffee, Sunrise, the Greek food truck, the Rooster's food truck, or the new restaurant. Small businesses need every opportunity to be successful. For many, this influx of traffic will allow them to reinvest in their business, which thanks to the pandemic and has been nearly impossible when coupled with the cost of borrowing. Nearly every business has benefited from this revenue. Isolating any business in this city should not stand. When the city makes decisions quickly, sometimes unintended consequences occur. On another note, the restrictions these signs impose seem to conflict with Iowa Code Chapter 321, which dictates the rules of the road and vehicle registration standards and are primarily controlled by state law. Cities may not pass ordinances or ban legally registered passenger vehicles from standard public streets without specific statutory authority. Lastly, I'm not here to criticize the decision that was made to place these signs. I believe it was well intended. But now that an unintended consequence has been revealed, I'm respectfully requesting the signs be removed or moved. No other similar retail business in Fairfax is affected by these signs, and the Southview Road construction, to my knowledge, has been completed. Thank you. Questions? Comments?
Council comments?
So I have a question actually for Leighton. So previously, before we had the construction on Williams, we didn't have much traffic from the data centers through Church Street and, filtering through. But then when we had the construction, they were all filtering through Old Fairfax. We had an issue with being able to, it's my words, not yours, so apologies, but control the employees to go the preferred route towards Wright Brothers Boulevard. So if we remove those no data center signs, what assurances do we have that not the patrons that would come stop at your business, but the pass-through traffic wouldn't drive through Old Fairfax?
Well,
Are you asking me or?
I'm sorry,
I'm behind.
it's an same general direction.
Yes.
So here's the thing is that, with the construction, it forced different avenues through town. Every direction, how to get out of the work area, and to get to the work area. As we demonstrated before, once you plug in a construction route, your your apps that give you mapping and all that, they change that route. They show you different paths that you can take. That's been learned, right? For us to be able to tell an individual, you can't do this, you can't go there, we can do that, and we have. And we've shown them the routes they're supposed to be taking. Now, as an individual, you'll do what you want to do. And that is something that we cannot control. And then again, they're breaking the law. That's exactly where laws are made, is to find them, to keep them from doing things that are illegal, that are outside the boundaries of the rules and regulations of the roads. That's where we stand. So to tell our folks, we communicate every day. We've come to you and asked what you want, and you've told us you don't want it coming through town. And we convey that on a daily basis, what to do, how to drive safe. Every morning, we do that at a stretch of place. And so to deter that, that's our best recourse. The other recourse is as if it is against the law. That's where these gentlemen come in. That's what they're paid, is to find those individuals if they're breaking the laws in your town. And I will say, I'm an advocate. I don't care if you triple the fine. The way you will get that message across to the individual that is habitually breaking the law is going to be through their pocket. And that's what we advocate for. And we tell our folks, they're responsible, they're adults. And if they can't do what we ask, we can't keep them from doing things that are legal, not legal.
So can I add to my
Yes.
first statement? So this isn't necessarily about this is about data center, the traffic, obviously the revenue, okay? But at the same time, it's about the isolation that these signs have put on my business. Where they're placed, one's on Prairie, one's on Church Street right off of 151 by the tire shop, and the one's out on the other side of the Ball Diamonds. So I'm the only food and beverage place that the city has said, you can't come here. You can go to Casey's, you can go to Mikey's, you can go to the new restaurant, you can go to Sunrise Coffee, you can go to Grind Coffee, but according to these signs, you can't come to the Star Bar. And that shouldn't stand. First of all, the signs aren't lawful. They are in conflict with 321. I didn't verify with this sheriff here, but oh yeah, he's here again. If they were to be broke down on the side of the road and the sheriff rolled up and said, hey, can I help you or whatever, and discovered that they were a data center employee, they can't give them a ticket for being on that road. You can't do it. So, and even the city now with the selling the water tonight, even the city has benefited from the revenue of the data center. So I don't feel that it's fair that I'm being isolated. So you want to put the sign somewhere else in town where I'm not isolated, please do so. Was the traffic terrible during that 2 or 3 week time frame when they were working on the road? It was really bad, and they didn't follow the rules of the road, which they should have. But at the end of the day, I'm standing here before you as a business owner, a small business owner, who's probably one of the longest standing business owners in town, a handful of us. And I just don't feel that it's fair that I'm being isolated for no lawful reason, because the signs aren't lawful. So I would appreciate if some action could be taken on that.
Travis, the 321 point.
Iowa Code 320, chapter 321. And the quote that I gave is a direct quote from the chapter. It dictates the rules of the road, and the vehicle registrations standards are primarily controlled by the state law. Cities may not pass ordinances or ban legally registered passenger vehicles from standard public streets without specific statutory authority. So if, when I was on the council, there was a big deal about heavy trucks. I don't know if, I think Mike and Marianne, maybe even Joanne was and we, at that time, there was nothing we could do about that either for this very same. And this specifically talks about passenger vehicles. So, unfortunately, it's a problem, but at the same time, we need to make sure it's equitable for everybody. And so if you want to move the sign, the sign I particularly have a problem with is the one by the tire station. The one by the Ball Diamond, they can continue to go down, come around, come on in. Prairie Avenue, it doesn't make no difference to me. But the one that's put up by the tire station, when that one went up, that's when we noticed our significant change, so. That's all. Anything else for me? I would appreciate it if, council would take this seriously.
Well, I think you guys did that when I was gone, but I think you did it because we were having so many issues with the construction traffic when they were repaving. But once they got the paving done, I really have not seen.
There was a need for it at one specific time,
There
yes.
was an issue, but
Yeah,
now that, now that
I can
that's
see that,
open,
but that time is gone.
However, there's 84,000 that went through there since the first of June, so. It all went, no.
No offense taken.
84,000 went by one way or the other by the star.
but was it that when that
Right.
was, the construction was going
Not
on?
all of it, it's all June and all July. We were done around the 15th, 18th of June, I think is when that project goes back up again.
So I
it's
could, I
been-
could believe it when the construction was going on, but. I live on that route and I'm telling you that it is substantially different than what it was.
Oh, yeah,
And it's
Look.
not,
and the only purpose was to deter some of the traffic if they'll even. pay
No,
attention to
I
it.
totally agree with that.
go around, I don't.
And to help
I don't
with
hear-
having any potential street damage due to excessive cars. Trucks have been pretty good about not doing it. But cars, it was just a deterrence, not for business, absolutely. not.
So I totally understand, the traffic. But the signs are in violation of Iowa Code 321. It's not lawful for the city to be doing that. So why should my business be isolated when the practice that the city, what the city is practicing is not lawful?
So just a quick comment, Travis. So in the county area, ITC has similar signs for ITC, no ITC traffic. So they're in violation too, then you would think.
I have not spent any money to research through an attorney or legal, but you know, I spent 10 years on the council, so I'm pretty good at researching things. You know, taught me well. And that appears to be in violation of that. So,
So you think if
but
that
the
sign,
previous lady specifically said that they had road use agreements with Lynn County, so that's probably the difference that we're talking about here. And so, I mean, I'd like to see them, I mean, I don't think would be a bad compromise to at least move the one sign that I'm
I was
asking.
gonna ask you about, do you think it would be helpful if that sign at the corner of Church and the highway was, where would you move it?
I would
take it
just
down.
remove it. You could leave the one at the Ball Diamond, in my opinion. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but leave the one at the Ball Diamond and leave the one on Prairie Avenue. It's still in and out of town. But when they come around, you know, basically, I don't mean this to sound selfish, but if you're coming from that way, if you turn right, you can't go that way and have a burger at Star Bar, but you can turn left and have a burger at Mikey's or go to Casey's or go to any place else, according to the signage.
I don't have a problem with removing that sign and then we can see if it helps, or
Start
if it
just
doesn't
that
help.
sign or.
I mean, I didn't come here to raise the roof, but at least remove that sign and see if that alleviates some of our problem or the majority of our problem. And I would be happy with that. So I understand the premise of trying to control the traffic. I'm not against. I don't like the severe traffic when they don't follow the rules of the road. Just like any other resident that lives in Fairfax. I live here too. I don't just do business here. I live here too. So I understand. But if anybody at this table or behind me had a small business in town, or your boss came up and said, hey, not getting that data center revenue, you're gonna have to take 10% pay cut. You'd be standing here at this podium asking for some solutions as well. So.
Frank, you believe the traffic is reduced down, construction's done.
Night and day.
And I think I checked, you talked already about how those signs are more of a scarecrow than a deterrent, not actually legal. They're discriminatory essentially, in data center traffic, we're all on the same page, their driving was garbage. Hot, stinky garbage. But that doesn't change the fact as long as they're following the laws, unless they get pulled over by the county, can't stop them down.
Well, and that's why I'm here today and not a while ago when they went up. I mean, I've realized that I've been put in this isolation booth here for a while now. But, you know, it's kind of hard to argue that fact when you've got that issue that was happening. But now that that has mostly, for the most part, subsided, I don't know why we would continue to impose a burden on a small business that's unnecessary and potentially, you know, unlawful. And I don't want to make a big stink about it and have to fight it longer. So I'm just looking for some sort of solution.
Joe, how do you think traffic is down like?
It's significantly reduced. And, you know, I'm at the ballpark at that time of day between 4 and 7. And it's significantly reduced since that opened up on Williams Boulevard and south.
I would be comfortable doing 2 or 3, because the other one's right over on Prairie, isn't it?
Yeah.
One's on 3 I know about, one's on Prairie, one's on Church by the old tire shop, and the other one's on the other side of the ball diamond when you come in. But the one by there, it still has an option to come around and go through town. Prairie, that doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. But the one that's smack dab like, don't come down here. I mean, I'm what, 1 city block in from that?
So if we put a tent over them in case it doesn't work out, and then,
Just pop down, put back up if necessary.
so, anybody making a motion, Marianne had talked about just the one sign removal.
Mayor, the gentleman in the white shirt had his hand up, I think he might.
This is all about your employees or
The construction.
the construction employees. You told them basically they aren't supposed to come here, right?
Yeah, so I mean, at the request of the city here.
Aren't supposed to come through Fairfax. So have you proposed to them that it's all about driving to Fairfax and using it as a thoroughfare? That's what you don't want. Have you also said to them that you're welcome to come into Fairfax and go to the Star Bar or whatever and use their businesses?
And to answer your question, so here's the thing, it's in all of this, the beginning of all of this, this was about helping the community flourish in whatever means possible. We can't control those that choose to do things that just aren't right. And so that's what we see a lot of, and controlling that is difficult in all senses. We speak to our employees, we want them to be a part of the community. I would love to be a part of the community. But I have to advocate for the city to the staff that says, hey, look, stay out there. Don't go through town. Go around. So that we don't interfere with the community's best wishes. And if the wishes are for us not to be there, that's what we will communicate for you to these people. And we do, and have. So as creatures of habit, David, with this road being shut down, they found the path of least resistance happened to be through town, and it wasn't comfortable for everybody. It wasn't comfortable for anybody. It wasn't comfortable for us having to deal with it on a daily basis. Because we were advocating again and again and again for the council, so that we could say, don't come here. And for reasons.
It's not about not coming here, it's about not traveling through here, but you should advise them that they can come to the Star Bar.
And we do, we have a list, we advocate for folks to bring food trucks, we advocate for businesses in town. We have a journal that we send out to all of our staff. All of our staff, thousands of people. This is what Fairfax has to offer.
So if I can make one final point, just, I really appreciate your comment, your sentiment, because if the city has told the data center that you're not welcome in Fairfax, that's a huge disservice to every small business in town. And that should never have happened. The language should have been what this gentleman suggested. We don't, if you're just passing through town as a thoroughfare, that's what we want to deter, but you should visit every small business in town. The data center, the customers that come to our establishment, I can't speak for the other people, they're courteous. They take good care of our staff, and I don't understand why the city would put themselves in a position where they said, you're not welcome here.
I don't believe we ever said you're not.
I
think that's miscommunication. We never said.
Okay, I would hope not.
You said stop treating it as.
I would hope not.
Correct.
Yeah, because I mean, all businesses, I mean, I could go through all of them. I've talked to many business owners. All business owners have benefited from in some way, shape or form from the data center being here. The traffic, yes, can be a nuisance, but I don't want to take up too much more of the time, but if,
Yeah.
you know, if we can, maybe, you know, start with that, and if, is it Scott? If you could, I mean, this is a request from me, I mean, if the messages went out to data center, don't go to the employees don't go to Fairfax. I mean,
Well, I want to be.
We all need
very
it.
clear. Let me be clear. The message was not to go to. It was to not be driving through the town.
Okay. all right,
And that message was reiterated time and time again when we closed Williamsburg. Our primary construction route is up and down 76 to Williams, out to 151 and around. That has been our primary from the get-go. And that's when that was shut down, when people chose to start coming.
yeah, no, I'm not throwing any shade at that.
But I
short
do
time
want
frame.
to make it clear, the city did not say,
Okay.
don't come to us.
Okay,
They
good,
just don't be.
that didn't set well.
We gotta figure out how to get. it out.
And, you know, and this, you know, a lot of people might be thinking, I'm making this about me, but if you know me personally, I'm for every business and every small business in Fairfax. And, so, you know, it's my business that I'm here talking about today. But, you know,
Well, the library's got people from the data center.
yeah, I'm sure the bank does. I'm sure the auto body shop has done more business.
Not just.
Everybody has. So anyway, if you could at least alleviate some pressure by moving that one sign as maybe just a starting point. And, you know, give it 60 days, 30, 60 days. And, you know, if I still having the same issue I'm having now, maybe I'll come back and bring your ear about it again. But if we could do that, that'd be really would appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm fine taking down two of the signs for now. Honestly, I don't care if we take down a or not, but it's not like we can't revisit it if all of a sudden becomes a problem again. But again, drastic point. Unless you have a legal reason to restrict traffic. I think that it worked while it was long. It worked. Okay, that sign, we never stopped that construction was going, it's on fire. But now that the construction's done and both Joe and Mark and Graham at church saying the traffic significant reduced, I'm fine. Testing it out, taking down those two signs.
So are you making a motion and you need to be specific about the signs?
A motion of the removal of the sign at the intersection of Church 151 and what's the other one, left of here at Land. Is that the where the other one?
There's one at Southview up here, and 176 up there, both facing the same direction. So they're both going northbound on left here. One is to catch it right at 76, and then it's a reiteration in Southview. I think we start with the one at the corner of Church. See if now they're bypassing Williams as they see the traffic opening up and starting to come through that street of I mean, speed warning.
They can still come around, still come down past Dairy Queen, still hang a right into and access my place. That's fine. That takes away the boundary issue because now I'm surrounded by signs. So at least that gives one. And to Mike's point, does every person follow the signs? No, but this is about messaging.
So Church 151 and then we want to do 76 and Lethbridge and leave Southfield, because that's still, like you said, you can still get out 151 in the straight shot down Church. The intersection of Church and Vanderbilt. Those two specifically and see how it goes.
I think remove the one and you still have traffic or to see if we're getting a bunch of. I'd be worried because yes, there's people not following traffic laws, but really the issue that is really coming to surface was 3 different times a day for 2 hours, 3 hours, just bumper to bumper traffic. That's the thing.
One quick aside
Sorry.
question.
Can I just say one more thing? But as long as they're following traffic laws, you can't stop them from, just because there's traffic, you can't stop them. As long as they're abiding by the law, the rules of the road.
Right.
The city does not have the authority
Okay.
to do that.
Okay. Brian, just on the side, there's a sign still on Lethbridge Road that says road closed ahead. Is there a purpose behind that for still being there?
No, I think that was from,
That's not ours.
That would have been,
The intersection of it.
yeah, the intersection when it was very, that you're talking south of 76, facing North Main. Yeah, I think that was part of the project.
They just missed it maybe
Yeah,
with the
so
paving
yeah,
project.
coming down the hill towards 76 from Wright Brothers. That got put up with the overlay project. I think it was to warm so they couldn't go to the left, because I assume that was your group's sign.
I don't know for sure. I'll follow up with that. I don't know, but it's either way.
It's still there, and what road is closed in there?
Right, that's why I'm wondering if
It
that's.
usually says on the back of the sign which company it is, you can just call and tell them to go get it.
Yeah,
Yeah, then you're right. Should be, especially.
It should be marked too.
that's fine. Well,
It
nothing
might
else.
be Collins.
Yeah, that could be,
It's probably advanced or, I don't claim to, but-
Around so we can't see.
I mean, that's,
The council, are you still discussing whether it's one or two sign removal?
I'd say move Cherry Street sign and see what happens. There's other access points who said that's what alleviate the normal. The other one,
Any movement at this point, I'll be happy with.
I can't visualize where there's.
I guess we have a motion and a second for one sign.
Okay, all in favor? Who made the first and?
Who made the first and second?
Well, Mike made it two, but I don't think we're gonna get that one through, so I'm just saying, let's just do one and go about our business today.
Right.
It's Cindy said the one at church and 150. I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank
thank you. We'll give it a try, Travis. Okay. Move on to item number 9. Discussion of possible motion on some capital improvement projects. John, are you going to share some information and question?
John Larson, Hall Engineers. So the first one here, I think that's more just an update, right, Rosina? I don't know if it's worthy of motion. Jenny typed up a memo that should have been in your packet. As far as water supply treatment facility progress, we had another design progress meeting last week. I guess the biggest news that came out of that is we may experience a 1 to 2 month delay. ISG is still waiting on the DNR to provide their feedback on flow capacities, how much water we can pump. It sounds like that might take a bit longer to get the answer from them. ISG is still waiting on some feedback from equipment suppliers. So that'll slow down design progress just a tad. So, that 30, 60, 90% milestones for the design could potentially get bumped back a month. So I think right now that 30% design, hoping to wrap that up in September and present to city council in October. 60% design late November and followed by 100% design near the end of the year, early 2027. So any questions regarding water treatment project? Okay. Next up, the heat study by the DOT. So I think you guys touched on this in a special meeting.
Yes, Shane presented.
Vic was there, doesn't sound like it. We're gonna go ahead and swap the study at Beverly or Highland. The DOT is on board with that. So the 3 intersections will be Highland, 80th, and Williams. The one lingering intersection will be Church. And if the city wants to move forward with that, they'll have to pay for it themselves. DOT won't cover that under the 150 hours.
Because the DOT said why they won't cover it.
I think it's just an estimate. It's 150 hours max is what they provide for these studies. And so I don't know if Shane's gone into detail with them, like an hourly breakdown or an estimate from them, like. You know,
John, do you know, so do we have the same issue? Church and Williams, are they close enough together that if you do something at one, you wouldn't be able to do something at the other? So is that more a preference of which one do we want to do something at as opposed to, you know what I'm saying? Is it close enough that you can't have a stoplight and a stoplight? You can't have a roundabout and a stoplight? It seems dumb to waste $20,000
So,
on something that is not.
as of right now, the DOT, even though, you know, the deep study is just getting underway. It sounds like the DOT is pretty confident in 80th Street getting the temporary traffic signals. They still gotta crunch the numbers and do the signal warrants. And that would be the only one. So whether they study church or not, whatever sort of traffic calming or temporary traffic control you're gonna get out of that, it's likely not gonna be signals. Either church or Williams. So yeah, to your point, basically what I'm saying, is it even worth it to
Well,
study
yeah,
church?
we're not,
We're not gonna.
you can't do something at both.
Right. So,
And they
yeah,
wanna
I
look
would
at
say with
Williams.
the traffic volumes through there, yeah, Church and Williams are pretty tight to where if you did signals at one, it likely would not work for the other.
And the data center is more clustered at Williams, so that's probably the priority for temporary lights. The
Yeah,
one that's most likely to
Yeah.
get approved.
yeah, so.
I don't even think you'll get a stoplight at church ever because of the proximity of the viaduct.
Viaduct,
not having
yeah.
You
this.
don't have a clear
This-
sight.
Absolutely.
So it seems, yeah, to me, it doesn't make sense to spend $20,000 for that.
So.
That's my opinion, but I'm assuming that either side, Prairie or Church, is too close to the viaduct, you don't have enough space to stop cars.
Stop before you get over the hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So you're
I
thinking,
kind of agree, but I mean, Cedar Rapids has plenty of spaces where there's lights right next to each other.
well, are those on
Well,
This is a visibility.
state routes?
so this is, you're going 45 miles an hour, you come over the top of the hill, there's cars stacked up because the light's red.
You can solve that problem, it's on Thursday.
Yeah, the DOT's been so receptive to reducing.
Yeah.
So many interesting ways. You got people that drive through there that aren't local, that don't know that they're gonna come up the top of the hill and there to be a stop.
We almost got caught a couple times with snow plows that they were backed up that far, didn't know they were there, come over the viaduct, about hit them. Luckily, there was nobody.
We have the issue over here and that hill was 10 times bigger. Where people did get hit, so.
Like, I would just like to have them pushed back as far as there's intersections, if this is the DOT road. Then DOT probably should review them. If we're gonna pay for them, then that means it's our road.
Okay, I mean, so. So you're saying.
Like as
What
far as.
about, you know. West Cemetery or now Eagle View, I suppose, or East Cemetery. So you're saying every intersection along 151 through town should be studied? Or are you just saying that's relative to church or
This is just supposed to be a temporary. thing. It's temporary.
just a temporary?
I would like to hear from them why they think that it's, we'll say only 3.
Mhm.
And they're not specifying the 3 necessarily, they're gonna let us pick. And they wouldn't do multiples, granted, fine, the teach studies 150 hours. But they can go beyond that,
Yeah,
there's a budget.
yeah. So it sounds like we need to ask them, give us an hourly breakdown or something,
Can,
similar to what we did you guys when we submit a
can't we
proposal or
just
something,
approve
you know?
this, like the 3 that they wanna do, so they'll pay for it and start the study? Because the
We just keep
longer
delaying.
we do this, the longer. by the time we
Yeah,
get
and I
stoplights,
wouldn't wait too much
Different
longer
centers will
because
give you
they're probably, yeah. Yes, I think you can still motion to go with Highland, 80th and Williams, right?
And they'll pay for all of them.
And that'll be covered under 150 hours. And then, as far as Church Street goes, or any other intersections, you know, in the meantime, obviously, Shane and I can discuss that further with the DOT as far as, you know, why not church? Why won't that fit in 150 hours? I wasn't involved in those discussions early on. Maybe they indicated to Shane already the reasoning, but we can at least get those answers. And then, yeah, if they come back and say, not, I mean, it's capped at 3 intersections, that's the best we can do. Then I guess it sounds like you also want us to ask a follow-up question of, you know, it's your route, really, shouldn't you be studying all of them? From the sounds of it.
But this is them offering to pay for the temporary lights.
Right.
For their road.
Yes, to help alleviate our traffic congestion.
For their road.
I'm just saying, you should approve this, let's get it going. Let's get
Well,
it going and get them up.
The 3, but the
And-
remainder.
The way the DOT views
It'd
it
be lucky
is,
if you get 1 out of the 3.
yeah. I'm not trying to compare them to Union Pacific Railroad, but how much, you know, where. Yeah, we have a road coming through here. You chose to connect a street to it. We just need to get our traffic from point A to point B. If you have a problem with it, remove the Church Street intersection. You know, that's how they view things. These side road connections entering town, that's on the city. It's their access point that they established with our route. So that's where
They're very protective about
Yeah,
giving you access.
that's why back when we did the
Nowadays.
151 reconstruction project, we had reimbursed them for the Church Street improvements on that. Just like, you know, utility infrastructure in the right of way. So
That's why they got money out there for getting rid of intersections too.
you're correct. So,
We need a motion to go back to them with the changes that moving away from Beverly and putting Highland in there.
yeah, I think that's where the other motion, right, Rosina, to just establish those 3 as the base.
Oh, don't need a motion, okay.
Yes.
And then,
I'll move that.
we can inquire further with them, as far as Dan's questions and see what they say.
I just don't want to hold it up anymore.
Yeah,
Agreed, it's so much.
so,
By the way,
All in
That's for
favor?
that's for the 3 in red.
no, we're flipping,
Beverly's going away and we're doing Highland at the top of the hill. Correct?
mhm.
So Highland, India.
Williams.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion before voting? All in favor?
I,
I,
Okay, I didn't hear any opposed. All right,
Next up. Southview Road intersection removal at Highway 151. So. Assuming you're aware of, has there been prior discussion during meetings about this? So the DOT is on board with removal of the intersection, Kranik's on board with removal of the intersection. Lynn County is, since the south half is there right away. So I suppose the decision needs to be made if you guys actually want to put that up. But have you formally made that decision yet?
Do we know what our potential cost is for this? Because they're the ones that would close, I mean, so if they close it, then we have to, what our cost would be to do whatever, is it a dead end street then?
It is.
Shane was saying they had to put some
cul-de-sac
kind of turnaround in and.
Something, yeah.
but if there's some grants or something because they want you to do that.
you said there's money available.
Yes,
close it off.
Yeah, so I think the DOT was going to contribute up to $100,000.
They do.
I know, I know it sounds kind
But
of
only for what they
hypocritical,
want.
doesn't it?
That's so true. Granted, does not also have additional.
I guess that's my point is this benefits those guys. It
Yeah,
doesn't
so
really benefit us. It's just gonna.
Randic representative also said, no promises, but it sounded like they could contribute possibly up to another $100,000. So you could be up to $200,000 contributions from the DOT and Kranich, and that'll go a long way. I mean, the city, we still need to widen out the end of the Williams and Southview intersection to handle truck traffic. It's a pretty tight turning radii.
Have we checked with Stutzman's, because will we have to buy property to widen that or the right of way area to make a turnaround?
I don't know if Shane has, I think they're aware of it. Stutzman's.
Yeah, we've talked to them
Yeah.
a while back, as far as.
But as far as
on property.
wiring a right of way, I mean, we can, cross that bridge when we get to it. Once we figure out if we actually have a project here or not, or how much, otherwise, I think the DOT and Kranich would still be willing to remove this, but they're not gonna put a turnaround in for us. So we can improve the.
Would they just put a dead end like
I don't
object
really
markers?
think
They
dead
probably
end?
just, they'd probably just chop it off and leave it.
So do we need a turnaround there? Because push comes to shove, Stutzman's has.
Legally-
Parking lots, we can.
Yeah, but
Fire truck can come
legally,
in and say-
fire code, well,
But there's another way they can get in and out, just two
yeah.
hundred feet down the road, so why?
Legally, you
do
have
that?
to provide turnaround large enough for a fire truck now. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to talk to Stutzman's. There'd have to be an agreement of some sort if
Cause they don't need
whether
to
it's
turn around,
earthquake
they're just pulling their lots and
response
turn around.
anything else needing to turn around on private property, they're gonna want some sort of agreement in place.
They were backed up to their trip, to their building, unloading some stuff the other day when we were there, and the nose of the truck was out on the edge of the road. So to get it in there straight, it's gonna take a little bit to do that, so I don't know how much.
Well, does the road even, does it need, so. Are we even thinking about this? Does it even have to go down there anymore? Can we offer them? That the road stops at the intersection? That's all their private drive?
There's two residential properties,
Yeah.
on the south.
Are they,
At
are there
least-
driveways on that side?
They're on the
Yeah.
south side, so the north side would be the old building that was there, and then they cross over to the other one that's got the anhydrous and stuff further down. So there, I mean, there's two houses there, but after that, maybe we could, I don't know,
I guess that would be my question.
I mean,
Is
there's.
if we stop the road at the houses, do we, and it's right there on. your
Yeah.
section.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is you still have to provide a legal turnaround, so
This seems
if you
silly.
vacate that right away. And then it's just sitting right away up to just past, is there two residential properties there, I think? Just past that west one, we still gotta put a legal turnaround. Again, unless Stutzman's comfortable with doing some sort of agreement with the city. Where there's, an access easement or something onto their property. But, to meet fire code and. I mean, I think it's got a 90-foot diameter cul-de-sac or a hammerhead that's, 130 feet total length hammerhead. So you still gotta be in compliance with those, so.
Cause we don't need to shut that street down. I don't wanna spend $500,000 building a turnaround. Just to make them happy.
The other thing too to consider is, that corner house, that's Lynn County. That's not in the city of Fairfax. So. Any improvements there too, I think can be an agreement cost. Something proposed in Lynn County.
So tonight, John, you're looking for just a decision whether or not to close it, but a lot of details.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe, we need to bring back information for the next council meeting. lay out a few options, cost estimates for you guys to review. I don't know for sure.
Cause we really don't
When-
have accidents there, do we?
No, but it's very, very unsafe.
But I'm saying it's, I can't count on my hand in the last
Yeah,
50 years.
it's one of those things if, it's one, the DOT's doing significant work on 151 is willing to contribute, $100,000 grant going here, you might as well jump on that opportunity, right? It's, try to eliminate as many railroad crossings as you can, given the opportunity, but,
I just wanna spend $200,000 or $300,000 to close a road. I mean, if
I
out of
would
our
say get
pocket,
cost estimates back.
Yeah,
Basically do it
that's-
for free.
that's a different thing.
To put, certain code requirements for turnaround for fire trucks, I'm less than.
Okay, got some guidance there, John?
yes,
I guess we need costs,
it costs, yes.
and that's complete, like with your fees and all the design and all the shenanigans,
Yeah.
all the things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that is it, if we turn it into a private access road, then we're gonna say, how are you gonna compensate me for maintaining the road from our driveways, to resident property, and that's the county is in basically from the, what would that be, southwest.
Okay,
There's some weird lines out there.
Yeah,
all right, John,
all right.
very good, thank you. All right. Item number 10. Consider resolutions, we're just setting a public hearing date of September 8th on urban renewal plan amendment, so we're just setting a public hearing date, September 8th. I need roll call, please, Marion.
Aye.
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 Thank you. Number 11, a discussion of possible motion regarding the status of Hartland Heights Park restrooms and pavilion. Is that Jonathan?
Take
It's John
the lead
or
on this,
Eric?
obviously.
Chime
in when needed. So. Correct me if I'm wrong, there's quite a few punch list items that still need completed up there. That peak hasn't gotten around to completing yet. And, I think, was your idea basically,
Yeah, so at our staff meeting, this week or last week, we had come up with an idea that what's left up there, we can do. We can finish it. There's still $11,000 plus final pay app for peak. And what we would do, what we're recommending is send them a letter, give them a drop dead date, 30 days. If it's not done, we're gonna do it. Whatever it costs us to do those punch list items, we'll deduct from the 11,000, we'll send them the balance and be done with it. What they do is they're started out to be a punch list item like this. It goes down to this, and then we don't see them for a week and a half. Then it comes down to this, and we don't see them for another week and a half. Comes down to this, we don't see them for another week and a half. That stuff is taking too long. The pavilion and the restroom is taking too long to be completed, and it needs to be done now. And yes, I'm a little excited about this because I don't think Peak has done what. Let me breathe for a minute so that I don't say something about Peak that I don't want to. It needs to get done though. This stuff should have been done. That thing should have been done last fall. And it's not. And we're going into another school year and the thing's still not done. So what I'm recommending, what I'm suggesting is that we give them the letter, give them the opportunity to get it done in 30 days. And if not, we fix it ourselves. We deduct it from the 11,000.
Do you want to wait that long?
I think we have to give them a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And that was Shane's recommendation, is that it was 30 days.
Did you draft up a letter already to send to them?
No, I have not drafted up a letter already.
Well,
Is this
we can-
because Joe
we
wanted to
can-
move the bathrooms all those years ago from when they originally were supposed to go?
No, that had nothing to do with it.
So, Yeah, I think Shane and I are on board with that, and you never know, Pete. might
And,
be on board
and
with
Eric,
it too.
correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's gotta be 30 days, isn't that
It
right?
does have to be 30 days. The reason why it's gotta be 30 days is there was no mature date for this project.
Right,
So to be fair, you have to give 30 days notice, and then whether you get a rebuttal or not, this is standard practice.
Yeah,
I've been through thousands of punch lists before. You get a stack, boo-hoo, you go through it, you try to get done what you can get done, and if you had LDs on the job, we would be charging liquidated damages, but we don't on this job, so.
Why do we not?
we do.
It's a good question, so
It's $250 a day.
So how are they accumulating $250?
There's no end date.
We have no ending.
There's, yeah, completion date was May 8th.
So then you should be able to charge them. till the
So
May
then
8th,
again.
Unless the city agrees to waive it.
So how it's written, though, have they reached substantial completion? What date did the restroom actually become usable?
Well, usable is open,
Versus-
because it's not open.
Yeah.
Technically, it's usable from day one.
It's
Yeah,
usable once
technically.
water went through it,
Yeah.
but it was not
So-
completed. So substantial completion though is probably one of the oldest tricks in the book in the construction world. You strive to get to substantial completion and then you throw her on the back burner and start another job.
Yeah.
That's construction world, you know.
And they.
I got my punch. I have one thing that, yeah, one thing they discovered, with the bridge contractor, but yeah, I think like trying to get the hell in and get the hell out.
Substantial completion.
So
Cause I don't want LDs, I don't want.
typically how it's handled is you reach substantial completion, you get 30 days to complete your punch list,
That's correct.
and then you're done. So this was a hard completion date. You have to be done by May, don't quote me, I think it's in May 8th. $250 a day liquidated damages. Again, it's not much, but we were trying to save money on this, so get the best price we could. So we kind of dialed back the LDs, the daily rate. But yeah, it's in the contract that they signed. Now, whether you want to enforce that, whether there are true and actual damages, it's inconvenience.
well,
So,
there's some inconvenience to the residents up there. That's probably more than inconvenient. We've got a construction site that still has, we still have kids playing up there around a construction site that we don't own, we're not taking care of, so.
Yeah. From a agreement standpoint, apologies, I don't have it pulled up, but so it's saying May 8th as a complete date, but you said that as long, I guess if it's not done, the 250 a day.
yeah, I mean, it's
But they-
all the way back to.
Is it kind of just worded as if it's not done versus substantial differences, but I mean, they signed the date, signed May 8th. We'll have it done, right?
They charged me $250 for whatever, $500 a day.
Well, that's not just.
So I'm just saying, I don't know why we're not charging them.
I thought that was waived because we only got one bid.
Yeah, I think so too, I don't know.
I don't
if there
think
is-
that's in place. That's why.
But
we can't.
if there is, usually,
They signed the contract, so.
usually that 250 a day, it also has a time limit. It's only like 10 days or something. It's not,
That's
it
all.
doesn't continue to go forever.
Goes.
It goes until you get.
Well,
your stuff
yeah,
done.
because didn't we do that with the water treatment? I mean,
Yeah.
by the time they got done, they were owing us money.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Why don't we just let it go and then the park full upgrade would be for
I
free?
mean,
We just
so
wait till-
May 8th, how many days is it from May 8th till?
We're probably about
Well, we're-
70 days, 75 days, so that's probably around 15,000 in liquidated damages. So you can use that as a bargaining tool. I mean, if you want to get this done, give them a 30 day and then say, we're gonna do it ourselves. We're not gonna pay the remaining balance and we're gonna consider liquidated damages if the contract does say May 8th was the hard completion.
All I'm looking for is approval to write the letter and send it. That's what I'm looking for.
I would say send it and add those two things. Hey, we're not gonna pay for the remaining pay application of whatever you said, approximately 11,000. And we'll enforce if it is in the contract, the liquidated damages.
Yeah, it's not done within 30 days, we're enforcing full liquidated damages and. You know, if they do get it done within 30 days, then they have a right to that retainage. Now it's a matter of, are you still gonna force the liquidated damages?
Then they'll have to come here and ask, or they'll have to ask to get those changed or waived.
Yeah. So,
You just want the problem, what you're saying.
I'm
Now-
just saying, you know, treat them like you treated us.
did they?
Brian was nice, but I still got 5 days of
Yeah,
OT.
they've got something they wanna put up there, it takes up the entire facade of deal. So, but we're still willing to do that. That was our deal all the way at the very beginning. And they ate that $5,000. So I don't have any problem with that, but I want the thing done.
I think if you send that letter, you'll get someone's attention.
Oh, yeah.
We got a motion on the floor.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Moving on to item number 12, consider resolution setting time and place. For fiscal year 27 budget amendment. Number 1. That will be September 8th. For the public hearing for budget amendment number 1, year 27. So moved.
Second.
Roll call please. Marianne?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. Item number 13, consider resolution adopting a combined purchasing and credit card policy. Rosina, any comments on that one?
Yeah, this isn't anything pressing. It's just a recommendation that I am making. I also presented a memo on what changes that there were from the previous policies to the combined policy. Almost all of this is clarification for myself as the treasurer and my staff, and then employees on how to handle certain situations when they arise. The policy, the purchasing policy did not change substantially. The credit card policy is more of a what if this happens? What if someone charges something that has tax? And then what if someone accidentally makes a charge? What if someone had a fraudulent charge? And it goes through how the treasurer, the clerk's office would respond and how an employee would respond. Is there any questions on anything that I presented with that combined policy? Oh, and another reason why I wanted to make it into a combined policy is just because they are related to each other. I figured it would be a reference point, a single reference point, instead of having two separate policies. Something that you could easily give a new employee that they could read through and understand their responsibilities.
Any questions for Rosina? So moved.
Sorry. 2, 3, I guess it's on the resolution. Where it says city administrator position vacancy. Where it says, the part where the mayor may delegate daily purchasing authority. I think should add any delegation of purchasing authority shall be in writing and specify the individual dollar limit, scope of authority, expiration date of delegation. No delegation may exceed the authority otherwise granted under this policy. And also bullet 1, I guess I'm curious why it's 5,000 there, but department heads are 2,500 elsewhere.
This is for the, can you reference the spot one more time for me, please?
Bullet 1 under section 2.3. So we go to the resolution 2026.
Sorry, I'm in the wrong. Yeah. Sorry, I cannot see very well. I apologize.
Scrolling.
Yes. Section,
We go
okay.
there. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I messed you up. Put it down.
Okay.
Your first bullet says 5,000
Right here,
under 2.3.
2, 3. So you're saying that this one does not match the same as the,
Well, scroll down to 2.5. Department heads are 2,500.
this one's city admin, when there's a purchasing vacancy, would be allowed to authorize up to 5,000. So that would be similar to the city admin position, not to department head positions. It's just saying, if department heads have the same as they've always had under the purchasing authority, but city admin has this level, which I believe is higher when they are operating than the city treasurer, under the absence of a city admin, would be able to authorize up to 5. So it's kind of meeting in the difference. It's not saying you're a city admin, you can authorize 10,000. It's not saying you're department head, but if we need to make a purchase and there's no admin, that it would be up to 5. But it can be changed.
I guess I don't follow why it's not the same as the
Department heads, it could be changed.
It has a 5,000 or 2,500. That should be the same.
Okay.
Roseanne, does that, that amount for department heads, I know that I've got a higher limit on mine.
So does the library.
Yeah. And it's because, during the summer, all of the concession stuff that we buy on our credit card. And so will my limit remain the same, or will it come back down?
So this is, I believe this is just purchasing authority, your
Purchase order.
purchase, this is purchasing. Your credit card limits are still the same
Yeah.
as they were. Sorry, yep.
How does it work for the 5,000 to 10,000?
I was just trying to account for language for if there is a vacancy. So, if the city admin isn't present and can do 10,000, then
Yeah,
how can
that's-
we,
I'm just curious how that,
Right.
because the 10 has to come here, but
right?
the 5 to 10, which will pretty much me, whether they're still okay to, or how we were gonna
Right, I believe that the mayor,
mayor or.
yes. But I can make that 2,500. You're suggesting 2,500.
I've got an input on that. I think $2,000 where we've been on that forever. I can't remember a time that it wasn't $2,000 before you had to have a purchase order or you had to have second approval on it. $2,500 is not out of line, I think, to raise that right now for department heads without getting a second approval. 15 years ago, $2,000 may have been okay. Tell me if you can buy the same $2,000 item today for $2,000 we did 15 years ago. We can.
We don't need the fuel for that.
No, that amount should be raised. And I think it should be raised at least to 3,000, but I'd be happy at least with 2,500. I think the amount needs to come on.
Yeah, but when she started doing it, it was the recommendation of the auditors to start it.
Yeah,
They picked 2,000 because that was actually a higher number than what they recommended. They wanted like anything over $500.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, every time you turn around, it's every single day, you're gonna be breaking out POs, that's all you're gonna have time for.
It is 2,500,
Yep, it's increased.
so 25 is okay.
25 is better than 2, that's for sure.
I think it is.
Yeah, it's 25. I think he's just suggesting that I not have any higher of a, Wozniak is suggesting that I not have any higher of an authority to purchase than the department heads, correct?
Whatever we decided on.
Yep.
Oh, 5,000.
So I have a procedural question on sales tax. So the city doesn't have to pay sales tax, but if there's a oops and we get charged sales tax, is there something that gets presented to the vendor to try to get that sales tax back, or how does that work? Is that in
Yes.
your procedure?
It is in my procedure, but we can talk about that also.
After.
Yeah. Once this gets passed, I think I would ask everyone just kind of hand it out to everybody, have them review it again so that they know what's changed. I have an explanation of everything that has changed. So, but to answer your question, you need to make an attempt. There is a form that we'll give you that you can take. And or, you know, it might be a little bit on the due diligence of the treasurer's and clerk's department to let everybody know where we already have tax exemption at, so that we can make those purchases there.
Just for clarification, because I saw this in the memo and I found it in the resolution. Under 2.3, where it says city administrator position vacancy, and maybe I'm reading it wrong, correct me if I'm right, yeah. But it says the third bullet point is the mayor may delegate day-to-day purchasing authority to a designated acting administrator or senior department head. But it doesn't just specify, unless we already have a different resolution, who appoints or has the acting city administrator. Now in the memo, it implies it's the mayor has that authority to have an acting administrator. Should it be the council that has the authority to appoint an acting or temporary administrator?
We could make it that way. I mean, this is just a template for discussion,
I
yeah.
find, like, you know, pass the resolution with some of these.
Do the
changes,
revisions.
Dan's line about having the
So
city
yeah.
council.
We could do it council. I could say the council instead of the mayor. Council on 2.3.
Yeah.
And Dan, would you send me that language that you would like?
Yes.
Thank you.
Anything else? Looks like we're not taking action on this.
Depends on what, you can take action with those revisions, or we can wait and redo and represent.
Fine with revisions, the resolution with revisions as stated by Dan and myself. Yeah.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Okay, number 14, consider resolution to authorize immediate and reoccurring payment of amounts due or owed. Zane, you want to explain this one?
Yes, so I also have that in the memo above that combines kind of the both of them. Although this goes with some of that purchasing policy and the credit card policy, it all relates to it. This is mainly for myself and my department and what the council feels comfortable authorizing. I just am looking for clarity since the city has ACH vendors that are set up on ACH. I believe that the city's done a really good job with their claims, getting everything in front of you. But with the capacity of the software system, there's some limitations and some clarity that I would like to have. If I can get clarity from the council on what you are comfortable having set up as ACH, what you are comfortable pre-authorizing me to write checks for in between one council and the next, it can really help clean up the process for me at the city treasurer level to understand and then be in compliance with, and then to utilize the system itself to produce claims reports. So right now, claims are held and then put into an Excel list and then processed after. Everything except anything that has been authorized or paid in ACH. So what I'm asking is that you allow authorization for those vendors. And then that way I can get you a report from one council to the next that shows everything that's been paid ACH, everything that is scheduled to be paid, but it will not include future ACH payments or anything that unknown, obviously. But then it will allow me to break it down for you in many different ways, utilizing the system so that you can see where the money is coming from. You can see the breakout of each department and each fund. So this is more procedural for me. The first thing that this addresses is giving me authority to, for instance, write a check for something like that is related to a payroll. So right now we utilize BASE, which is a system, the healthcare system that we pay employees a portion of an employee's premium, and we send a check directly to the doctor. And I don't have the authority to write that check, but that check needs to get sent. So There are other vendors that we need to pay immediately. There's postage that needs to be paid, and I just need the authority to make those payments without having it in front of you first. I know it might sound a little confusing, so I did try to present, I was able to get all the claims in this time just to show what that might look like. So these reports under the claims, I have just the traditional one that we've always done. But then I also was able to generate the claims report directly from the system. And what it shows you is your invoices, your vendor's name, each vendor invoice, a description like it always has, which this part will need to be cleaned up and can be when we move to admins, the invoice amount, vendor totals, and then it shows you if it was actually a check that's already been cut since the last meeting and the check date that it was cut. So these are ACH payments. So it's similar to what we were doing, but it's system generated and it allows reporting for departments and other things to it just adds a little bit more information for the council.
Utilizing the system that we already have. Fuller capacity.
It's utilizing the GWorks system to produce the claims report. The difference will be you're not going to get, if there's an ACH payment that I'm trying to pay that's past the council meeting date, it's going to go on the next claims. But you're giving me the authority to pay it now. So that way, when I give you a report, it's a clean report. It has everything that was paid in between this council. So you know exactly what checks that I cut in between now and then what is scheduled to be cut after you've authorized it at the council meeting. It's just a different way to do it. It's, not right or wrong, but it's just a different way. We can continue down the same path, or we can make this change and enter invoices as we receive them, and then utilize the system to produce the report instead of the Excel spreadsheet.
Sorry, be that guy. So, I point out some language or?
Yeah.
Okay, so section 1, I guess the paragraph where it says city clerk authorized issue checks, et cetera, et cetera. I want y'all let me say no, disagree, but this resolution authorizes only the timing and method of payment, does not independently authorize the incurrence of any expenditure. All expenditures must otherwise be authorized in accordance with applicable city ordinances, resolutions, budgets, contracts, purchase orders, and city purchasing policy.
You want to add that language?
I think so, yes. Remove the words, but not limited to, and just say as follows. Otherwise it's open-ended. The portion for out-of-pocket expenditures to add word authorized in front of out-of-pocket. And remove or when immediate payment is required. The credit card section, and use point to the credit card policy. Point to the credit card policy instead, so that you don't have to update next multiple places. The emergency repairs or expenditures. So emergency repairs or expenditures that have been authorized with the city's purchasing policy or other applicable city authority that are necessary to prevent or address immediate threat to public health, safety, property, or critical city functions.
You're suggesting to add that? You're saying?
Revise that emergency repair.
Oh, okay.
So Rosina, doing it this way, without our authorization, so to speak, is this approved by the auditor? There's no issue with any of that?
This is a standard policy that a lot of communities utilize. And some of it's just limitations of software. It's just, you know, what a software is able to do. But the other is, you know, payments, things need to get paid, vendors need to get paid. You know, payroll needs to get paid. Our insurance needs to get paid. So there's just these things that you're already giving authority in the budget. You're already giving authority in the PO. You're already giving these authorities. This is just clarifying more intensely for myself to be able to reference and go, yes, I have clear authority to write this vendor check and then put it on the claims list the next month.
Further questions or discussion? How would you like to handle this one?
There were quite a few revisions.
Would you like to revisit it and bring it back? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What table, is that the word we want to use here? Do we need a motion, Rosina?
Make the revisions and bring it back. That.
Is that what you're motioning?
We have to make a motion to do that.
Second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item number 15. Discussion possible on mayor appointment of Rita Naren on the library board to replace library board member Paul Molly. So this is a mayor appointment, so library board is recommending this, so well, actually it's a mayor appointment. So we have to do anything? No, I just say yay. Okay. Got that one done. Okay. Number 16, discussion of possible motion to hire a, how do you pronounce your last name, Rosina?
Leave it, sir.
Sir?
Sewer.
Sewer.
I'm not 100% sure.
We'll have her say how to pronounce her name, which you. All right, so Rosina, you want to talk a little bit about? Okay.
Yes, we received 5 applications total. There were 3 top candidates of the 3. They were all very well qualified. I would have been happy with all of them. Kay she is a previous clerk. Retired early, wasn't quite ready to retire, but received an early retirement package from the city she worked for previously. I believe she's an excellent fit for this position. She understands it's part-time as needed, may not continue, and she's had extensive work with G-Works and 2 other financial accounting clerical city-based softwares. So I think that I'm very hopeful that she will be able to provide a lot of help and assistance when we transition.
And a future Fairfax resident?
Oh, yes. She was submitting her application to be a resident, and that's how we found out. So through conversation during that time. So she's moving here, she's closing soon.
So the start date is September 10th, if the council approves. Council, any questions? Need a motion? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Item number 17, discussion and possible motion regarding 90-day and annual performance review processes. This topic came to the forefront because Rosina is really close to completing her first 90 days of employment with us. So we should be offering her a review. And our procedures currently are pretty much none. So need some guidance. Also in the area of annual performance reviews, it's happened different ways. When I first became mayor, I was doing the department head annual performance reviews, and they did their staff. Then when we had a city administrator, the city administrator did the department head reviews. Now we're without a city administrator, so need some guidance. Sounds like we need a procedure. Most immediate need is Rosina's 90-day review as to Council, how would you like for that to occur?
An open question, how would you like that to occur?
I've got two as well. Same thing.
We were all hired.
Oh, yeah, this is what we used previously. Lynn started it several years ago. And that's what we used down Public Workville
For the annual reviews.
for the annual review. And then I can't remember, we did a 90-day review for Logan. And I want to say we probably use the same thing other than change top from annual to 90-day. Use the same format with the file, so I don't know if you want to do something different, we just have to figure out something different here in short time.
So, and who would conduct the review on the 90-day? That's, we don't have a city administrator.
What do other cities do?
What did we do before our city administrator? We did that.
For 90 days, I don't think we've had this before,
Did
where we had a
really?
department head needing a 90-day review. Brand new person.
Over 90 even thinking. Like, is it other towns that don't have an administrator, the mayor does it, or does the council do it?
When
The
Eric
only
came up,
reviews we've done in the time I've been on, Mary Ann was a city administrator position, we didn't do year reviews for department heads.
I did reviews. Why did I do them? Burns, sick, gone, something?
Yes. So
I know I did
was
the,
not available.
yeah, I did the reviews.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah,
Mayor Pro Tem, yeah, because the mayor was absent.
yeah, I did.
I mean, I'm more than happy to do Rosina's with, and I would certainly get some input from staff and council.
Oh, yeah, more interaction with most of the council, yeah.
Well, with council, but I would also would want to talk to her peers and to her staff as well. So need some guidance.
Yeah, I said that we don't have interaction with her enough to know what her date, how she's been getting along, what she's doing. My suggestion was to talk to department heads, get feedback from them. And have the mayor do it, but maybe with one council person that makes you feel better or not. We just don't, other than seeing her once a month at a meeting. We really don't have a lot of interaction with her to know how things are going, so.
We're talking about you like you're not in the.
That's not the first time.
My only frame of reference is city administrators, and I asked department heads for what essentially was confidential reviews on what was doing right or wrong. I would say something similar.
That's what I would do. I would definitely make it confidential so that they feel open to, yeah. Sure. I'm fine.
I think we should do it.
With some input, okay. We'll get it done. All right. And then the annual performance review, again, maybe it's a procedure that needs to be established as to what happens. In the absence of the city administrator.
Weren't we doing department heads and the department heads were doing staff,
Right,
right?
right.
Yeah. That's not where we landed.
But there's no.
I just know when I did it, I think I did everyone. For some reason.
When Bernie was gone. Yeah.
That was actually.
You did.
I did them all. Did every one of them.
Yeah, no, that's been split down to, department heads only, and the department heads take care of their staff, So you didn't have to do all three.
Over, okay.
Yeah.
Mayor Pro Tem overachiever.
Okay,
I need to make a motion on that or?
I'm just motion for guidance, really. Okay. All right. Takes us to item number 18, opportunity for citizens not on the agenda. Anyone in the audience that would like to speak on any topic?
say something real quick.
Each.
Kathy Bain, Old Fairfax. I just wanted to say that we participated in the MPO bicycle audit last Thursday, which Chase Harrison did a fantastic job. Made the Bains realize that they won't be around when the town is connected to anything, but there was a couple of suggestions that they had that would be an easy fix that would cost a lot of money. I don't know what what road painting is coming up in this fall, but they strongly suggested that we do crosswalks where the trails go over the road, so that would be Driftwood, and onto, is it front? There's no street signs there, I just basically wrote over here. Right, so that would be an easy fix that would be helpful to bikers otherwise.
That was an informal suggestion. We have not received their feedback.
And I know that, I didn't know,
That's correct. I'd like to
I
have
didn't know
that.
painting was coming up. I mean, if we have them coming to town, it'd be good to do.
I'd like to have the audit in totality. See what they recommended. So.
Yeah, I know that was just nice. Thank you.
I was mentally planning to wait till spring, so we have
Oh,
a
okay.
full season of good paint. Instead of painting it now
Yeah.
and turn around, plow it back.
And we should have that audit in a few weeks, I would think.
Okay,
Incorporated, but I'm sure.
anyone else?
Evening, my name is Matthew Boyle. Family and I live at 415 Prairie View Circle. And we've been here for 11 years. Our property backs up to Hawks Ridge Park, just directly to the west of our home. I'm here to ask the city to assess drainage in Hawks Ridge Park, which is causing basement flooding in homes that border it. In the time we lived in our home, we've had water in our basement on more than one occasion, most recently in June. I formally surveyed residents in our neighborhood, asking them to let me know whether they've had water in their basement or whether their sump pump runs continuously. Of the 5 houses that back up to Hawks Ridge Park, including mine, I received responses from 3. The other 2 I wasn't able to reach, and all 3 who responded reported experiencing water in their basement. In some cases, this is minor, and in other cases, it's major. People have had to remove carpet and replace it. Neighbors on the west side, Prairie View Circle, those backing up to the park, report their sump pumps running continuously, including in winter, days after rain, which points to groundwater and hydrostatic pressure, not just surface drainage. Neighbors directly across the street on the east side report the opposite. Pumps that rarely run, some so idle that residents pour water just to confirm they're still working. Hawks Ridge Park is at a higher elevation than our properties, and when looking at the topography of the park, is about a 4 to 5% slope from west to east, directly towards our homes. To put that slope in perspective, it's nearly 20 feet of elevation drop from the far west side of the park to the elevation of our homes. There's only one storm drain located in the park, at the far northeast corner of the park. And this storm drain only has one pipe, an outpipe going to the east. There is a swale located at the far east side of the park, between the trail and our backyards. But all this appears to do is stop the flow of water right at the back of our property, cause stormwater to leach into the soil. There's no drainage system for the park. To give an idea of how much water is introduced to the park during a rain event, subsequently the groundwater surrounding our homes, the open green space of the park is roughly 1 acre in size. During a rain event that produces 1 inch of rain per hour, that's roughly 27,000 gallons of water with nowhere to go, running downhill towards our homes and seeping into the ground. I'm asking the city engineer, Public Works, and this council to do a stormwater assessment of the park, with options including grading changes, installation of a storm sewer, subsurface tile system to collect and redirect water away from our homes, anything to prevent the continuous flow of groundwater directly towards our homes. I'd ask that the city council report back to residents on next steps within the next few months. This appears to be a city infrastructure gap, not a private landscaping problem, as some of the houses experiencing water in the basement already have retaining walls or yard drains. We're asking for a public solution to a public drainage problem, and I have the survey data available if any of the council members would like to see it. Time.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Matthew Boyle.
Matthew?
So we can't respond under a citizen.
But I'm not a member of city council. I'm a staff member. Can I ask him a question, follow-up question?
Okay.
Matthew, you said you've been there 11 years.
Yes.
Is that correct? Has this issue been there the whole time?
I live right next door to them.
It-
I had to completely gut my basement.
Okay.
We were on vacation, came home to 2 inches of water.
Okay,
Dude,
so,
I mean,
so this has been going on for 11
Yeah,
years.
we've had,
Is that correct?
we've had basement issues.
People living across the street, I talked to them last night, they've lived there much longer than I have. They've said they've noticed our side of the street has had water problems the entire time. they've
Right.
lived there.
And if you go to our backyards have shifted over, they have eroded. over
Sure,
time. They're going forward.
Okay,
We have a retaining wall, but that has shifted.
right.
Our neighbor to the north of us, he's fighting that battle too,
Okay,
so.
so my question is though, if this has been going on for 11 years, is this the first time you brought this up?
This is the first time I've brought it up.
Okay,
Cause we all started talking to each other
okay.
due to the.
'Cause sometimes
the
you-
rain we had.
Sometimes you don't know everybody else has the same problem you have, it may just be you, so you don't, may not say anything.
It is, I noticed, I mean.
We had a roll off in our driveway,
Yeah,
so
and
people
the
started
roll-off
asking
driveway,
questions.
So I asked them all, I've got water problems as well.
Okay,
Yes, I asked my neighbor to the south of me.
okay,
He's had to replace his carpet as well. I asked the people on the other side of him, they've had water issues as well.
so this just wasn't the time when we got 8 inches in 10 days. This has been going on for 11
Correct.
years.
It just hasn't been as severe as it was this last time.
Thank you. And I appreciate that, it was just follow-up questions I was asking.
Sure. Now, the council can't respond, but if you could leave your contact information, with Eric, who is our building administrator, then he can follow up with you after. Let me, thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Okay, so that takes us to item number 19, mayor's comment. I'm just, gonna provide some feedback on the battery recycling program. That's been a huge success so far. They've had to empty the container 3 times already, so people are using. That's all I have. Roseanne, anything additional?
Just thank you to everyone who submitted packet information using the Laserfish system. I will be changing it, so you only get an email every Friday with updates on everything that's been submitted and not every time something has been submitted. As you can see, it's a lot, so, but thank you.
You want to mention when the auditors are gonna be here?
Oh, sure. Yes, I think it was in my report, but, or maybe I didn't put the dates in, but the auditors will be here. I can't even kind of put me on
Earlier
the
than usual.
spot. It's the late this month. So they'll be on site for 3 days. Late this month.
Earlier than usual, but it's a good thing because it will be before the software transitions starts to occur. Okay, anything else? Not, need a motion to adjourn, please.
Second.
On favor.
Aye.
Thank you.
Lights. Okay. So I don't know. Lights when it comes. During the. So I noticed a lot where the lights were on